at my workplace, they hire me as an assembler. As an assembler, they pretty much an engineer design plan specifications, and I build the things that they design, putting the parts together. That they to make what they design. It's like they give an engineer design to design something like this. Heck, this is just an example, and I pick up the parts and I put them where the plans and specifications tell me to do. Because I'm an electrical assembler, I wire stuff. Again, I don't design anything. I don't have to design anything. You don't need to design anything. However, I have a knowledge because I went to school for engineering in Puerto Rico, and I took a class in. You can see electrical in there, fundamentals of electrical engineering, 1996. I got an A in that class. I got an A in that class. Um, I got an A in that class. And I took another class a few years ago of automotive electricity, which pretty much the knowledge that I had was learn extra stuff that it's quite useful to know. But I don't need to have that knowledge. I'm just the assembler. I just put this in here, I do it, and that's it. That's all I need to do. Like if they will tell me put the switch in here and then put a wire in here and a wire in here. That's pretty much what I do. However, on my hobby side, I understand electricity because I like it, because I've taken classes, and I can make things that are like this. This is just an example, and let me show you how it works so you can have an idea. And again, I designed this little circuit in here. I decided how to wire it so that way it could work. I put the lights in parallel, and if you are a person that works in electricity, it's parallel. At work, they ask me to help design a tester. Bear in mind, I don't need to have electrical knowledge for the position, but in my company, not many people know electricity, especially the engineers that are at the top. So they asked me if I could help design, if I could design a tester for that. That way, they can test switches in a faster way without having to use a digital multimeter. And I did, and I designed it, and I built it too, and with parts that I found at the in my workplace. And a few weeks ago, the quality engineer, was doing an interview, and he passed by with a person that he was interviewing, and he introduced me. This is Paula, and she helped design the tester that we use for these boxes, and that hit me hard because he said that I had helped. He didn't say the truth. The truth was that I designed and I built the tester that we're using, not that I helped design. And that hit me hard. And that came the realization of like, holy crap, I am just being used. Again, I saw this as an opportunity to show my skills so that maybe eventually maybe they can at some point offer me an engineering position and move up in the company. I know I have the skills to be able to work as an engineer. And having been in that company for about a year, knowing that I know more electricity and I can understand how things work, and I can be doing a good job as an engineer there, helping the company as an engineer. But I got hired as an assembler. However, they want to be like, oh, we're nice, we're offering you opportunity to help us out, and yeah, help you out to keep your position. You take credit for my work, and you pay me a lower wage, and you don't have to pay me as an engineer. It's awful. And other stuff that I have designed. This one was for my automotive electricity class. I designed the circuit for this. I choose the bulbs to use. I did the wiring too. I designed the wire size. It works on 12 volts, and I did the control boxes. These are control boxes, and this is pretty much what I do at work. They give me a design for control boxes, and I build control boxes at work. That I didn't design, but somebody else designed, but I just put the parts together. But I know how they're designed because I have done design and build stuff on my own. So pretty much, I got knowledge of what I'm doing at work. This is something that I designed for my own amusement. I hope a puppet, again, I don't need to have this knowledge of design, but I use a electrical knowledge to design something like this. That is fun to design, and the mouse lights up, and I design this myself. And I did the wiring too. You know, I did that myself. So I know how to design. I know how to build things. I didn't even design plans for that. I just built that out of my head, and I had an idea of like what I wanted to do, and it came out pretty good. I found the parts that I wanted, and I put it together myself here on my free time after work until I got what I wanted. And I have a video in my channel where you can see me operating the Hobo Puppet. Um, so yeah, but my work and my personal life are two different things. And to me, it's just upsetting that when I'm designing something, especially in a job that doesn't require me to have this knowledge of design, that other people will take credit for that. And it's like, how do I balance my work, my job as an assembler, versus my engineering education? I know I have knowledge and skills of engineering, but I am not getting paid as an engineer, so I think I have to put limits, because otherwise people are going to take advantage of that. I'm going to be doing engineering work and I'm not be rightfully compensated, and I do have my degree in engineering. And to me, as an engineer, it's like I do like learning how things work, and it's something that I keep in my own life because of my hobbies and things that I like. But when other people at my workplace are like, "Oh, I'm too busy. I don't want to learn that. I don't know how to do this. It's not my background. It's not what I study." It, and I hear things like that, and they're asking me those questions because they know that I have the background and the knowledge, and they know that I have the eagerness because I want to get an engineering job. I feel like I'm being used, and that realization is sitting so bad, because I know that if I were to work or be offered a position as an engineer, they will probably be paying me more money for working as an engineer, but they are not right now because I got hired as an assembler, so they are paying me less than what I could be earning as an engineer. And I know it sounds awful to complain about this, but at the same time, it's hurting me financially, because the people at the top, they are reaping the rewards, they are taking advantage, they are taking things that I pretty much designed and taking credit for that, and they are keeping their positions, they're keeping their money. Meanwhile, I am the one that is getting pretty much screwed over. And to me, that is not fair. To me, that is really not fair. And this design. This is not difficult. This is that LED design, and it's common knowledge. Anybody can go on Google or YouTube even and find how do you design a circuit for an LED. And there are hundreds of videos that explain you how to do the calculations to design and size up the resistor. That is what controls the current that will go through the LED, so you don't end up blowing up the LED when you put it through a particular power source. It's common knowledge. You cannot accuse a person like, oh, this is proprietary stuff. No, it's not proprietary stuff. It's common knowledge that anybody can learn, that I have learned, but that you haven't bothered to do your own research, but yet you use me to do the research that you have been doing as an engineer to learn more stuff that will benefit the company. But you're using me and you're not paying me for having this knowledge. For me, it's this simple knowledge. I still remember how to do this, and like I can do it without having to think about it. So, but I'm not getting paid for this, for designing stuff, and yet people in my company, they are having the big bucks. I'm doing the job for them pretty much, and it's that realization where I'm realizing that I've been used pretty much. It's sad. And yeah, this is common knowledge that you can learn online, because just to refresh, I have searched online, I have learned, even knowing how to use a breadboard which I didn't have the knowledge. I've never used a breadboard before, so I kind of like checked the breadboard and taught myself how to learn and use a breadboard. And now I know how to use a breadboard. Now I know how it operates. But it's surprising that some people, they just don't want to take the time, and they get paid a salary. They get paid more than I do, and they don't want to take the time, yet they will ask a person that is below them to solve their problems because they cannot do that on their own. Anyway, yeah, so that's my critique to what's been happening at my company, and this is how I feel, because I feel like being used. And again, I'm looking for a better job. We'll see if I can find a better job, but I know my skills, I know my worth, and to me it's just upsetting that they are were using me pretty much. And all in the name of like, oh well, but we're nice, and the company, we are cheap for the company, uh, yeah, but there's a line. I'm an assembler, not an engineer, not a designer. I should not be designing. If I'm designing stuff or solving problems that you should be solving as an engineer, I should be compensated as an engineer, not as an assembler. And that's where I draw the line. It's easy for them to take advantage because they will still get their money that they get paid, and they are me on the other hand, I will just get the lower page. And if I screw up something, if they screw up something, I can get that pretty much, and I'm the one that is suffering financially, not them. Yeah. Bye. That's all I got. Bye. What do you think? Like I do think I did okay standing up and pretty much limiting what I'm going to be doing from now on. From now on, I will be limiting and just focusing on assembly. I'm not going to be doing more design of things for them. Did I do okay on that? Is that something that is okay? Will somebody else as an engineer will do that too if they find something in the same position? I mean, I'm pretty sure if you're an engineer, you probably have an engineering job. Unless you're like me, that you're being struggling, you can't find an engineering job, then you have to take jobs just to keep yourself alive in this country, because we all need money to live. And that is my situation in my case. I need a job and I need money, and that's why I took the job as an assembler, so I can have some money. Anyway, let me know what you think.